I don't know if you can see my head or hear me. It's pretty loud for me. I'm in SITKA dew point right now. How you doing, hunters and huntresses? Today, we're gonna do a rain gear comparison for the hunter, okay? So I got 6 different types of rain gear here. We're gonna put them on. We're gonna sit through a rainstorm. We're gonna shoot a bow with them. And then we're gonna measure some criteria, what makes one better than the other. Obviously, there's a bunch of different types, so you can't exactly compare them, but overall, you get an understanding of what works for you when you're in the tree, when you're walking through the field, or whatever you gotta do. So the things we're gonna be testing on these 6 sets of gear is obviously waterproof, okay? They gotta be able to keep the water out. It wouldn't be called rain gear if they didn't. Breathability. Do you sweat on the inside more than the rain is hitting you on the outside? That's never fun. Noise level. You can kind of hear rain gear a lot of times when you're walking through thickets, or if you're up in a tree and you're drawing a bow. When it touches against itself or rubs against the tree, there's a noise level. We're gonna be paying attention to that and seeing how important it is. Packability. How much does it weigh? Are you carrying it or are you wearing it? Durability. If I catch something on a tree or a twig, is it going to tear? What's its ability to withstand the elements? Huntability and structural comfort. What this means to me is, how does it fit on your body? Does it have nice Velcro? Does it stay off your neck? Does the hood stay rigid when it sits on top of your hat? So we're going to talk about those things, and you'll be able to look at each piece of rain gear and say, oh, how structurally sound is it, and does that matter to me? Finally, overall price. Obviously, what hunting gear costs today, it ranges from real cheap to real expensive. So we kind of got both ends of the spectrum here. We'll check it out, and if your wife is getting new shoes and new diamonds, why can't we get some new hunting gear? No, don't tell anybody I said that. All right, we're gonna look at 6 different types here. The first we're talking about right now is dew point. First piece of rain gear we're going to review right now is dew point, made by SITKA. Comes in a bunch of different colors. I just happen to have a brown color here. I can say that, overall, looks great. Okay, it's light. It's a packable rain gear, and the zippers on the sides, the pit zips, and a few other things make it be able to breathe. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go test it. I'll come back and let you know how it worked out. All right, like I said, we're gonna try out some gear. I don't know if you can see my head or hear me. It's pretty loud for me. I'm in SITKA dew point right now. And as you can see, it's raining pretty hard. It's not gonna stop me from hunting. I can still see out the sides. We're gonna try to take a shot now in this gear. All right, here we go. All right, it was able to shoot. I didn't hit my sleeve. I had a really good shot, knowing this gear is gonna be able to keep me warm when I'm in the woods in the pouring rain. All right, folks, we tested the dew point. And what I'm gonna do, I got a rock here so nothing blows away. I got a little chart here. I'm never gonna remember what I say now, later. So when I wanna sum it up for you, I'll take this. So, waterproof. All right, I got my marker here. We'll talk about it real quick. I'm gonna give it out of a 1 to 5, 5 being the best, 1 being the worst. I'm gonna give this a 5. Had no problems with it. The hood was structurally strong. I was able to see out the sides of the hood, real important. These hoods have a cut back hood, so your peripheral vision is great. Really love the comfort of it. So skipping down to the huntability and structural comfort, I give that a 5. Home run. Absolutely love this. It's got pit zips. It was able to tighten up around my wrist. My cuffs didn't get wet. And for the boots itself, pick it up there. I'm able to zip up the side of the pant, go over the top of the boot, zip it back down again. I don't have to take the pants off to take my boots off. If I'm in the woods and it starts to rain, boom, I can pull it out. Breathability. You know, it's I didn't go for a long walk in it. I would say the breathability is probably around a 3. I feel like I'd sweat in it, but didn't give it enough time today. But it's definitely, it's windproof and all, so I'm imagining it's not going to breathe great. Noise level, guys, it's kind of noisy. I'm going to give it a 2, leaving 1 for something noisier than this. Packable weight. These things are super light. I could roll it up, throw it in my backpack. I'd never know it's there. I'll give it a 5 on that. And durability. I happen to know that I've used this walking through the woods. I've got some thorns in it, and it didn't leak after that. So I can't imagine that I wouldn't tear it. So I'm going to give the durability a 3. Overall price, guys, these are kind of expensive. I'm going to give you the exact numbers later. So the overall price I'll finish up before we get in. So that's the overall ranking on this jacket. We'll add it up later. I know we can compare them, but how do you compare rubber to, you know, something like this? But the bottom line is you need something to compare, so we'll give it a shot. All right, guys and gals, we're back. Next thing we're going to talk about is Downpour. Okay? This is a jacket and pant made by SITKA, and it's in the elevated 2 camo. And I use this for tree stand hunting. Okay? If you look up in the sky behind me, and you look at the grays and the whites, even in early season, that's what a deer or ungulate sees when they look up in the sky. That's why the pattern was made this way. Okay, it is a rain gear, and looking at it, it's got same cutout hood. It's got some nice pockets. The cuffs have some really nice Velcro here that can adjust. What else? The pants zip open, as we see before. Makes it easy to get your boots on and off. I can tell you that my buddy calls these skinny jeans. They are a little tight in the upper thigh, and I'm not a big heavy guy. And I feel it too. So I can tell you, if you're ordering Downpour, make sure you go a size up on the pants. All right, we're gonna go do our water test, and then we're gonna come back to you and finish it up. Okay, I'm back. We're in SITKA Downpour right now. So, thinking about it, I'm gonna sit here for 5 minutes and see if any of the water gets through SITKA Downpour. It's the gear that I typically use to bow hunt, and I'm here, my bow's here. We'll come back in 5 minutes and see if I get wet. But in the meantime, let me take a shot, make sure I can shoot with it. And then again, I'll sit for 5 minutes, and then I'll let you know if anything seeped through any of the zippers. Right now, the hood is great. It's keeping the water on the outside. It's running off the front. I don't feel it on my cuffs. Obviously, the zipper went on the outside of my boots. We're doing great. Let me take a shot while I'm at it. No problems at all. Bow didn't hit my sleeve. I was able to see out the side of the hood into my peep. Good gear. I like it. Hey guys and gals, we're back from the water test, and I can tell you it was amazing. You sit there in these things, and even beside this water test, I've sat in this in pouring rain all day, and it was great. They do have a spray that goes on it, and it's supposed to be cleaned with a special cleaner that doesn't wash that spray off. But I can tell you, for waterproofness on Downpour, I'm going to use my little scale here again. Here we go. I'm going to give it a 5. Now, this is a more breathable product than the Downpour. I know they talk about when you go to Alaska and things like that, the breathable isn't 100% waterproof. I mean, I typically come back to my house every single day, so I'm not worried about staying out overnight with this. So I'm going to call the breathability on this 4, and I'm happy that it has it. Noise levels. I could barely hear it. You know, it's not perfect. It's not like a Berber, but it's near close. So noise level on this, I'm going to give it a 4. Packable weight. Guys and gals, I don't think I would take this and pack it up and put it in my backpack, I think it's just a little too heavy. So I'm gonna give the packable weight a 2, just because I think I'd wear this camouflage rain gear and it not necessarily be a pack-in like I'm wearing on the Dew Point. Durability, this stuff is strong. This is probably 4 years or more old, and I can't see any pills or pulls or anything like that on it. So durability, I'm giving it at least a 4. Huntability, structural comfort, I was able to shoot a bow perfectly with it. In fact, I've shot many deer with it. No problems at all. I'm giving the huntability, structural comfort a 5. Overall price, we'll get into that a little later, it's not cheap. So, you know, the price will mark up later when we see exactly what it costs. All right, we're gonna move on and get into some other gear here. Hey guys and gals, we're back. And now, we're gonna look at something called Thunderhead. I think this is probably my favorite gear because I use it as camo and it is rain gear. So if I'm not sure how it's gonna go, I have no problem wearing this and hunting in it even if it doesn't rain. It's very similar to the Downpour I just showed you, except for some reason the pants aren't as tight. I don't know, maybe I got them in 2 different years, but it doesn't have that skinny jean feel on me. But it does have the zipper up sides. It's got snaps on the bottom. As with the Downpour, I can show you, it's got this built-in self-adjustable belt too. Home run. Absolutely love it. And it has a kind of a bungee in the back too. So when you have a big lunch and you go out after a good elk lunch, you know, you can expand a little bit. It's all good. Jacket again has that really nice hood. And I didn't mention before, but this hood has like a firmer piece in the front so that when it goes over your hat, it doesn't collapse and fall on your face. It holds it firm and lets the water come over the front. So super nice piece of equipment. I've had this for years and I use it mostly on the ground. I'll use it for turkey hunting. I use it for elk hunting. I'll use it for deer early season. Absolutely love it. Gonna go water test it. Most important. We'll come back and we'll score it. All right, we're coming back with the SITKA Thunderhead. We're gonna sit for 5 minutes after the shot, see if I get any water infiltration. And because I sit with this gear on, mostly turkey hunting and ground hunting, I'm gonna make sure I get my butt wiggled right down into that sand and see if I can get water to come through. All right. Wiggling, getting in there. Again, I can still see peripheral. Water is not leaking into my face. I have the waterproof hat on, so it's running off the bill. It's a lot of water, guys. It's not leaking in any of the zippers right now. I'm gonna take a shot with the bow and make sure that this gear is usable for bow hunting. Perfect. I'm gonna sit here for 5 minutes and see if I can get any infiltration, and I'll come back and I'll take it off again, and then we'll see what it did. All right, we're coming back from water testing this stuff. We got our nice deer table cover here. Could absorb some water, doesn't matter. So looking at this, the waterproof, I'm giving it a 5 again. No problems at all. Can handle water dripping around your face. You can see out the sides. You have no issues walking through high grass as I have in the past. Even without gaiters, I'll let this, you know, settle down on top of my boots. It works great. Breathability, I'm giving it about a 3. I think you'd sweat it if you walked around too much, but it is breathable. Not 100%, but I like it. Noise level, it's really quiet. Again, I'm going to give it a 4, and that 4 is only because a Berber would be much quieter, like the Fanatic equipment is SITKA. Just leave a little room at the top if you really want to know. Packable weight, I'm not loving how heavy it weighs to put in my backpack and carry this all day and not use it. I'd rather use a packable gear. So we'll give a packable weight. I'm gonna give it a 2 there. Not really meant what it's supposed to do. Durability, awesome. Again, I've had this for years, and this isn't sitting in a tree. I'm walking through grass. I'm walking through thorns and things like that. And if you look at the bottom cuff, it's not torn up. So never really thought about it, but yeah, this is a pretty durable. I'm gonna give it a 4. Probably could be a 5, but I'm sure there's other equipment that's a little more durable than this. Huntability and structural comfort. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love the hood. Absolutely love how it breaks apart and you're able to do what you need to do. I wish it had more pockets, but I understand that in a rain gear, you really can't get underneath and the pocket will fill up with water. And I'm saying I wish it had more pockets, but they probably have a reason that it doesn't. So structural comfort, huntability, shooting the bow, 5. Awesome. Overall price, once again, guys, you're dealing with the best of the best. You're gonna pay for it. We'll talk about that price in a little bit. This is a Cabela's Space Rain jacket, and the pants are in here. This is a packable rain gear. Now, every rain gear has its advantages and not. It's almost like you're playing Dungeons and Dragons. You got big swords, you got bows, you got people that are smart, you got people that are fast. This right here is light. So when I was in Colorado, I carried this as my pack rain gear, and I did use it. I had a serious situation where it started raining, rain turned to hail. I was probably 2.5 miles in, and coming out, I had to walk up this steep embankment next to a wire fence. The clay turned to slime. I couldn't even get up the hill. So I'm holding the fence, going up the fence, holding onto the wire, and I was wearing this. And I don't remember exactly what I felt like as far as wearing it at the time, but I can tell you, it kept me from going hypothermic. It was freezing cold. It dropped from 70 degrees down to 30. Again, it rained, it hailed. It took me hours to get out in the dark. And this right here, I don't want to say it saved my life, but I was super happy with having something that kept me dry and not having to be, soaking wet at 30 degrees in the middle of Colorado where I wasn't quite sure where I am. So I'm happy with its performance. We're gonna go sit under the rain, and we'll let you know how it works out. All right, folks, I'm in the Cabela's packable rain gear. It's the mid-range rain gear for price-wise, and we're gonna see how this performs against the most comparable one would be Dew Point. That's the SITKA packable rain gear. As always, we'll take a shot with the bow to make sure that nothing is in the way. I feel like I'm in Scotland here. It's raining on me. No problems with the shooting. All right. As always, I'm going to sit here for 5 minutes, and I'll come back and reach in another 4 or so, whatever it takes. I didn't remember this in Colorado, but I can tell you, under that amount of water, I did have some issues with the cuffs. It's a little flimsier than some of the other gear we just reviewed. It soaked up water into my cuff. I didn't like that. And the back of my neck, it feels cool, and that's usually an indication of there's water back there. I don't see any stain on my shirt or anything when I looked at it, but I can tell you the waterproof of this is not what we just looked at on some of these other garments. So I'm gonna give this a 3 for waterproof. It did its job at getting me out of the woods, but I don't think I would use it all day, every day as a permanent rain gear. But again, it is a packable rain gear, and for what you're looking for, if you're looking for just packable, I don't have a problem with it. Breathability, I mean, it's kind of plasticky. I'm gonna probably give it a 2, not thinking that it's gonna breathe much. If you walked around, you're gonna have swamp on the inside like you have swamp on the outside. Noise level, it's not that bad. I mean, this Sitka here that I'm wearing is louder than the noise level of this Cabela's Space Rain jacket. Not super quiet, but it's fairly quiet. So I'll give it a 3 for quietness. I think you'd have a problem if you were drawing a bow real close to a deer, but overall I think you'd be all right. Packable weight, I'm giving it a 5. This is a home run. In that little package I showed you, I pulled it out of. You get 2 of these little packages, you throw them in the back of your backpack. I'd say they probably weigh a pound a piece. Amazing. Durability? I don't know, man. I think if my little dog jumped up on me, the nails might tear this. So I'm gonna give this a durability of a 2. I'd be nervous about using this in any kind of thicket or high field. Structural huntability. You know, what I didn't like is this hood doesn't have anything firm, and it was collapsing in my face. The cuffs weren't great. It's not a real tough piece of equipment. I'm gonna give the hunting comfort, durability. I was able to shoot the bow with it because it was kind of tight to my body, but I'm gonna give that a 2 also. I don't think that's its best attribute here. Overall price, I know this one was about 150 bucks. For that price, that's a deal. I'm gonna give this, you know, I'll give it a 4 right now overall for price, because I know when I bought this, super happy with it. When I used it, it worked well. If I had to do it all over again, I might use the same product. I liked it. The next piece of equipment I have here is probably, you know, worldwide the toughest, and this is what a lot of people use when they go to Alaska. This is just pure rubber Helly Hansen, something you're going to use on a boat. And sorry for the 2 different brands here, but this is a Grundens, and one's white, one's black. Doesn't matter. I'm just telling you that this is tough as nails. It's what I use when I fish, and they have different levels of. There's a light, medium, and a heavy. This one happens to have a nice collar on it, and it's got buttons and a zipper. The hood's got the rigid piece to keep the water out of your face, as we were talking about, but it doesn't have a cutback, so that your peripheral vision's definitely going to be, you know, impeded with this. But overall, you know, I've been using them my whole life. They're great. It's got a little area in the back for your back to breathe. They're not a great breathable piece of equipment, so I kind of like that airy back. Here's the slickers. I call them slickers. Sorry, they got a little bit of blood on them. They also double as my bibs for butchering. But I like having the over the shoulder here, and it doesn't slide down. I've used these for hunting, and I put a light layer of camo over the top of it, but it never really felt super comfortable. Let's take it under the water. I assume it's going to be watertight, but let's see how it does with the bow. It's kind of important. A little harder to move in. Tight across the back. I'm confident I'm not going to get wet, but I can't see to the sides. These hoods, like I said, the peripheral vision is much tougher when it's not designed for hunting. This is more of a fishing or working jacket. I apologize for the little bit of blood on my slickers here. I use them for butchering. So the moment of truth is, am I going to be able to shoot the bow comfortably with it? I know it's not camouflage. You could probably buy it in camouflage or put a lighter coating of camouflage over the top of it if you really need to stay dry. All right, let's see what we can do here. All right, there was a difference there. What happened on the shot is because the hood is so this is so high, the collar and the hood, I couldn't get into my anchor point. So I was a little further out on my anchor point, which made me shoot a little bit to the right. And as I was looking at the target, I'm right eye dominant, using my right eye, looking through the peep. This piece of the hood was in the way. So I'm looking, and I do keep both eyes open when I shoot. I'm looking at the target. I can see with my right eye, but my left eye was blocked by this piece of hood. So obviously SITKA knows what they're doing by having a hood that cuts out just enough that it doesn't allow the rain in, and it also but allows you to see on the shot. Big part of it. I'm gonna sit here for 5 minutes just to try to do a case study here and make sure that this waterproof rubbers is waterproof. All right, we're back. And as I thought, it was amazing in the water, all right? So as we start scoring this thing, waterproof, 100. That's a 5. Breathable, 0. Except for this little, thing in the back. Not all rubber has a has an opening in the back to allow you to breathe, but so I'm gonna call the breathability a 1, just because you're gonna sweat in it. And if you ever, you know, worked on a hot day and you have your slickers on, you'll know what I mean. Noise level, it's not meant to be quiet. I'm gonna give it a 2 for noise level, because rubber is not as scratchy as like a plastic, but it's pretty loud. Packable weight, way too heavy to carry, way too heavy. I'm gonna give it a 1. However, again, in Alaska, they talk about not using breathable gear. They talk down on SITKA, they talk down on Kuyu, which is, you know, some of the best products. First Light, great product. They talk down on it because when you're up there and it's 80-mile-an-hour winds and the rain's hitting you all different angles, you can't have one of those breathable products fail. And if you look it up, you'll see some issues where they say if you go to Alaska, make sure you're bringing rubber. Durability, it's durable as hell. I mean, I walk through the woods with these when it's tick season, and they're staying together. In my lifetime, I probably had 4 pair of slickers, and I'm on a boat, I'm beating the heck out of them. The durability on these is a 5. Home run. Structural, huntability, ability to shoot a bow. I'm not excited about it. It didn't feel good. It doesn't stretch in your back. It's meant to be tough. And when you're up in a tree and you're trying to maneuver around things like that, this huntability and comfort, I'm gonna give it a 2. Overall price, they're reasonable. You have a sliding scale of, you know, from $50-something on the slickers all the way up to 100 and something. So I'll give a number later on the price, but they're reasonable. All right, we're gonna come back and we'll do the last set. Here we go, final. Last, and I'm gonna say it's probably least. It's an Alpine design, packable, lightweight rain gear. Okay, it packs into these little things here. Here's the jacket. It kind of turns into its own pocket. Super light, I can tell you. I mean, it's real easy to carry. I imagine that it'd be nice to carry in your backpack if you're, you know, 10 minutes in the car and you just don't want to get wet on the way back. Let's check it out. Let's give it a shot, and we'll come back and let you know what it really did. Okay, pairing up with the least expensive rain gear. Probably $50 for the set. Okay. Whew. We'll see how she works. I'll take a shot, then I'll sit for 5 minutes and see what happens as far as any infiltration of water into the system here. I can tell you that the cuffs don't have Velcro, so I'm already feeling water there. There's no zipper in the front. It's just a kind of a bungee cord that keeps it on. But for a few $100s cheaper, I wouldn't expect it to be exactly the same as the high level. No problems. All right, I'm gonna sit down a bit, and I'll come see you in 5 minutes. All right, I can honestly tell you, I'm a little damper than I was before. So for the Alpine design, I mean, you'll see the video of the rain. I can tell you, for the waterproofness, I'm giving this a 1, just because I feel bad. I don't want to give it a 0. It had right here in the back of the seam on the neck, I can tell you there, and the cuffs, this little bungee cord here, it wasn't good enough. It made my wrists wet, soaked up, further up. I mean, I put this on just to kind of keep me warm while I'm doing this. It still is March, not great. Breathability, I'm gonna give that a 1 also. It's made out of plastic. Wrap yourself in saran wrap, you might be a little bit better. Noise level, it's about as noisy as it gets. We'll give that I'm gonna give that a 1 also. However, if you're hiking somewhere, maybe you don't care about the noise. Packable weight, as you saw before, it was in a slight little package. I'm giving it a 5. Give it a 5 for something. It's good. Durability, you know, it's not as weak as I would expect it to be. It's got some grid lines and stuff like that, which makes it, you know, looks like fairly durable. I'm gonna give it a 3. Why not? Give it something good. Huntability, I gotta tell you, I probably wouldn't be caught dead in this regardless of the color. The hood collapses on your face. It doesn't have a good cutout on the side. It's just not hunting quality material for me. And if I'm going somewhere, getting up early, wasting my hours of sleep or wasting my money on an expensive hunt, this is not going to be what I bring. Like I said, I did bring the Cabela's and it worked well. So on the hunt for comfort, I'm giving it a 2. Overall price, guys, this stuff's like 50 bucks. You're going to a baseball game, you know, you're going out to the mailbox to get mail, you're taking your dog down the block for a walk, knock yourself out. 50 bucks, can't go wrong. If it rains as hard as it rained on me, you're gonna get wet in any one of those situations. But if it's a light drizzle or something like that, I guess you'll be all right with it. All right, for a wrap up on this rain gear comparison, I have to say, for hunting, sitting in a tree, on the ground, I'm gonna go with the Downpour or I'm gonna go with the Thunderhead. They're very close to the same product. If you can only afford one, I mean, I'd probably go with the camo for the ground so they could use that in a tree. If I'm fishing, I'm gonna go with the rubber, or maybe up in Alaska. Haven't done that yet, but we'll assess that. And for the price, guys, this Cabela's really isn't bad. I mean, I've used it, not as a typical all-day rain gear again, but it's gonna be great just to throw in your pack. So you can look at the side of your screen and you'll see right now my rankings and how I scored each one. But how's it gonna work for you? What type of hunting do you do? What do you need the most? Good luck. I hope this helped you in deciding what type of rain gear you need for the type of hunting you're doing. And remember, shoot your bow with your gear on. You'll be able to determine if you're gonna hit that deer. Good luck.